Hi, welcome back to Sincerely Jen Patterns YouTube channel. My name is Jenny, and today we're going to be making the top of the Mornin shamrock pouch. So what you'll do first is cut out your pattern piece, print your pattern pieces using Adobe Reader, and then go ahead and cut them out. Trace each of the pattern pieces onto the wrong side of vinyl, cork, or leather, or some other non-fraying material, and then go ahead and cut those out. So the first thing that we're going to do, this one's a little bit different than most of the other pouches in that the piece with the flap is actually the front panel and the flap closes to the back. This is because we have a Shamrock Applique to sew on. So what you'll do first is find the placement that you like for the Shamrock, and I just have here a regular Elmer's washable school glue. I'm going to go ahead and cover the back of the Shamrock in glue stick. This will hold it in place long enough that I can top stitch it on, and I'm not using any of my more expensive double-sided tape. And you can make the flap be on either side that you want. So just place this wherever you like it. I think one of my testers placed it kind of catty corner, and that was cute. So go ahead and stick that on. Now I'm going to top stitch this in place using a 1/8 inch seam allowance. My stitch length is set to 4.75 millimeters, and I'm not going to back stitch because we'll pull the stitches through to the wrong side after we're done sewing, and tie a knot so that way you don't have the back stitching on the front of your project. Always stop with your needle in the down position to pivot at the corners, and just try to keep everything at a 1/8 inch seam allowance. And it may be easier to hand crank your machine around some of these curves and lift your presser foot up. That's how I keep curves neat sometimes, is like one stitch at a time. These are definitely well suited for a domestic machine that sews slower. This is what I always sew on, is my Juki, so that's what I'm sewing these on as well. Now what could also be cute is to cut the Shamrock out of heat transfer vinyl, and then you could fuse it onto the right side of leather anyway. I think you can. I don't know if vinyl, I don't know how easy that would be to not melt the vinyl. All right, and then when you return to where you started sewing, you're just going to try to stop with your needle in the same hole that you started. Leave the long tails of thread, and we're going to flip this over. I'm going to use my stiletto to go ahead and pull the tails from the front to the back. So if you kind of pull on the bobbin thread, it will create a loop from the tail that's on the front of the project, and you can go ahead and pull that to the back. And then we're just going to tie those together in a square knot. It can be easier if you leave the threads just a little bit longer than this. Okay, tie that nice and tight, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim these down. Before I do that, I'm going to place a drop of super glue on that knot just to help secure it. And then I'm going to go ahead and let that dry for a little bit. Okay, once the glue's dried, just go ahead and trim off the remaining threads. Now we're going to take the front panel pattern piece, and I'm going to punch out the holes for the snap placement marks right on the pattern piece. I'm going to use the pattern piece and a pen, and I'm going to place this on the wrong side of the front panel. And I'm just going to mark both snap placements. Go ahead and use my hole punch. Okay, and now I'm going to take the back panel and place it right sides together with the front panel and match up all the edges. Okay, I want to place clips all the way around to hold the two pieces together. Now I'm going to fold the flap to the back, to the wrong side, and I'm going to mark my snap placement using the holes in the flap. So I'm just going to remove a couple of those clips and go ahead and punch the holes in the front panel. Alright, now I need to choose my snap color. So, I don't know if I want to use green or gray. I think I'm going to use silver. Okay, so I want 4 caps for this one, since there are 2 snaps. We need 2 male pieces and 2 female pieces. So I'm going to place the cap on the wrong side of the back panel and 1/2, whether it's male or female does not matter. And just snap that in place, or attach it. And then go ahead and repeat that on the other side. All right, once you have your snaps installed, go ahead and reclip your halves together, and then we're going to sew this together using a 1/8 inch seam allowance all the way around the exterior. So just start sewing wherever. It's usually easiest along a flat side. Do a couple stitches and then go ahead and back stitch a couple stitches to secure the stitches in place. I don't remember if I said earlier, but if I did not, I'm using a 4.75 millimeter stitch length. When we reach back to where we began, just go ahead and back stitch a few stitches again. Trim threads. All right, and now I will go ahead and install the other half of my snaps. 2 caps will be on the right side of the back panel. Well, I guess I should do one at a time. And then I'm going to install the male half of the snap, or whichever half you have remaining, it doesn't matter. And then you can just go ahead and snap that closed and your pouch is completed. You can install an eyelet if you want to make this into a keychain. And these are great for holding gift cards. Instead of giving a gift card alone, you can go ahead and make one of these cute little pouches to put it in. And then your recipient has a cute pouch and a gift card. So thank you for watching. If you make one of these pouches, I'd love it if you shared it in my Facebook group, which is linked in the description box. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.